360 million years ago. The orogenic movement and long-lasting workmanship of time formed a special geomorphologic structure of Sichuan Basin. It has the Chengdu Mountains standing in the north, guarding it, the peaks of Guizhou in the south, surrounding it, the Bao Mountains in the east, and the Chengdu Mountains in the west, protecting it from cold. Chengdu is perfectly located in the western part of this basin. As an alluvial fan plain formed by the Minjiang River and Tuojiang River systems, the basement of Chengdu Plain is composed of a stable rock layer covered with soft soil sediments, acting like a natural cushion, which helps to create a long and stable geological history of Chengdu. 5,000 years ago, water of the Minjiang River rushed from northwest mountainous area into Chengdu Plain, leading ancient civilians of the Shu dynasty to migrate from the Mingshan mountain to the plain for settlement. A group of housing clusters gradually formed, and these ancient ruins were now called the prehistoric city group of Chengdu Plain. The distribution of the ancient sites in early ancient Shu dynasty basically showed the geographic layout along two sides of the ridge. The Baozhen cultural city ruins in the late Neolithic age were located on the west side of the delta. The ancient city of Sanxingdui was located on the east side of the delta, with a layout in accordance of the nature, which showed a trend of propelling the highlands from both sides to the middle highland. From Baodun, Sanxingdui to Jinshan, cities were restructuring and growing during migration. These glorious ancient cities of Chengdu Plain witnessed the origin of civilization in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River and unveiled the historical prelude of the development and evolution of urban civilization. Chengdu Plain is a plain in the northeast-southwest direction. In most time of the year, the wind blows from the northeast and the sunlight goes vertically towards east. 2,500 years ago, the ancient king of Kaiming moved the capital to Chengdu by making use of the weather and geographic location, and built up the city in accordance with the axis north by east about 30 degrees. This special layout integrates functions of water guiding, ventilation, and illumination, which embodied the ancient wisdom of the combination of nature and man, and established the concept of leading city of Chengdu. In the late Warring States period, Shu State was merged by Qin in 311 BC. Zhang Yi and Zhang Luo from Qin built Chengdu City in a 6-kilometer perimeter and 23-meter height, together with Pi City in a 3.5-kilometer perimeter and a 20-meter height, and Linqiu City in a 3-kilometer perimeter and a 60-meter height. Located in east, the major city was a military and political center, same as the capital city, Shenyang, while the minor city was the economic center in the west, which witnessed the booming of business and market. The Pijiang River and Liujiang River flowed across the southern area. Liujiang River ran through as a city moat, protecting the major city and minor city adjacent to Pijiang River, which shaped the two parallel rivers' urban pattern of Chengdu. In the unearthed cultural relics of the late Warring States period, Chinese characters Chengdu were clearly seen. After experiencing 2,300 years of vicissitudes, the location and the name, as well as the center of the city, remained unchanged. In the period of King Shangwen of Qin, an outstanding hydrologist, the governor of Shu, Li Ging, made full use of ancient wisdom and built the Dujiangyan irrigation system. Two rivers in Chengdu were thereby connected with the inner river of Dujiangyan to form a multifunctional hydraulic engineering system which integrated irrigation, transportation, and flood control. It not only protected the city and flooded the Yangjiang River, but also made the river system a traffic network in Chengdu Plain. The surrounding area and farmland was nourished by the river. And the Chengdu Plain has since been free from drought, no worries of hunger, and been called the city of abundance. In the Han Dynasty, Chengdu sped up its pace to the outside of the world. Sima Xiangru went to Yi in the southwest as an envoy, which helped to form the Southern Silk Road, one of the longest and oldest international communication arteries in the Eurasian continent. With a starting point from Chengdu, it crossed Yunnan, Myanmar, India, the Central Asia, West Asia, and further extended into Europe. The wealthy merchants traveled around the world and made all kinds of merchandise tradable. Internationally, Chengdu has become an important hub and production base along the Silk Road. At this time, Chengdu, with its highly developed agriculture, handicraft production, and life standards, became the second largest city in China after Chang'an. In the southwest of Chengdu, there was a Jingguan city dedicated to brigade industry and a Cheguan city for production of vehicles and weapons. Standing across the river, Jingguan City and Cheguan City formed a unique city layout and presented a vivid picture of humanity and ecology, and also a humanistic heritage of people living and working pleasantly. The literature work Long Plan revealed the situation of three kingdoms. In 221 AD, Master Liu Bei reached the capital of Kingdom Shu in Chengdu, and his fellow Zhuge Liang contributed all his wisdom to manage the city. Therefore, Chengdu became the political, economic, cultural, and military center of the kingdom. Lyrics in Ode to Shu Du, written by Zhou Si from Jin Dynasty, praised, "It is both beautiful and lofty, indeed an abandoned city of Chengdu." From the Tang Dynasty to Song Dynasty, another peak of urban civilization appeared in Chengdu. In the third era of Tian Fu period, governed by Emperor Tang Xizong, Officer Gao Pian of Sichuan built Luocheng City, which expanded the original city area in sixfold. It laid a foundation for modern Chengdu City, both on the scale and layout. Moreover, it also diverted the Pijiang River from the southwest to the northeast. From then on, the city pattern changed from two parallel rivers into two rivers surrounding the city. It has been maintained till today. Luocheng City has a 12.5 kilometer circumference and 10 city gates, with more than 5,600 high-rise corridors on the city wall, showing the magnificence and prosperity of the great Tang Dynasty. When it came to the five dynasties, the later master Long Zhixiang added Yangmacheng City for the purpose of defense, reaching 21 kilometers in circumference. His son Meng Chang commanded people to plant hibiscus trees on the city wall. In every autumn, the flowers blossomed in beauty and gorgeousness. That's where the name of Fu Rose City came from, and so did the origin of Chengdu's well-known nickname, Rongcheng City. Further development in production and transportation has led to the prosperity of trade and commerce of the city. During the Tang Dynasty and Song Dynasty, Chengdu was known as a market full of valuable commodities from both land and water transportation, and a bustling metropolis lingered with pleasing music. It enjoyed equal reputation as Yangzhou City in Jiangsu Province, and was called the second most prosperous city after Yangzhou. The advanced economy has inspired a glorious time for culture and art. In the Tang Dynasty and Song Dynasty, Chengdu was renowned as a city of music and art in the ancient Oriental world, for its incomparable achievements in music, dance, drama, and painting. In addition, as the earliest city that invented engraving printing in the world, Chengdu produced the first banknote, Jiangzi, in the Song Dynasty, indicating that the city was born with a gene of cultural innovation and creation. Chengdu at that time took the lead by its unparalleled prosperity and richness in the world, with its beautiful landscape, marvelous brocade, diverse music, and rich craftsmanship. Chengdu was a home of splendid dance and virtuous talents. The best depiction of Chengdu at that time was from poet Su Shi. Chengdu, the metropolitan in southwest China. After the wartime in the late Song Dynasty and early Yuan Dynasty, the civilization of Chengdu continued to develop in adversity. In the early years of Emperor Kangxi, the city of Chengdu was renewed with new constructions, and immigrants were attracted one after another. Which had this vision to millennial city to restore its vitality, harmony, and diversity. All the experience of Chengdu in modern times were closely related with our long-suffering homeland. On the end of Qing Dynasty to the Republic of China era, its urban development was in a state of stagnation. After the establishment of the People's Republic of China, the process of industrialization ushered in a new round of urban development. The beneficial strategies in the new era and the new economy of reform and opening up have revitalized this city. The divine songbird imagined flew from ancient Chengdu for rebirth, where Chengdu was hereby blessed and developed. It passed through the long history, the ancient histories, and the miracle of the Qing Dynasty, the elegance of the Han Dynasty, the splendor of the Tang Dynasty, the prosperity of the Song Dynasty, and the converge of the Ming Dynasty and Qing Dynasty, by witnessing the 4,500-year civilization and the urban development of more than 2,300 years. Chengdu continued to bloom in its long and profound culture. It grew up in history and transformed the inheritance. It integrated the ancient history of the millennium capital in the modern atmosphere, putting all its unique charms into a beautiful and livable park city and world-famous cultural city with open mind, optimistic lifestyle, as well as its long, profound history.